Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Face2Face here on ekartingnews.com on our Facebook page. My name is Rob Howden, joined by David Cole once again. David,
I got it right.
I know, right? You got it always the other way.
Yeah.
This is going to be a really, really great edition of Face2Face. Excited to have these three gentlemen joining us here today. But as we do, before we kind of jump in, we are, Thursday, the 18th of June. I know. It's June 18th. Racing is starting, though, as we know. It's we've got club racing going all over the place. We've had some good regional programs that got underway. The Buckeye Karting Challenge, Superkart USA Pro Kart Challenge in California. This coming weekend, the California Rock Championship running in Phoenix. There are other events coming here at the end of June. It just feels like we're kind of finally coming out of the whole COVID-19 shutdown, and probably just in time for the karting industry as well. It kind of locked things down in terms of people spending money. There was a lot of shops, of course, that had mortgages to pay, rent, the whole, you name it. But the sport is starting again. I can feel the excitement with all the stuff that we're getting coming into the news desk.
Well, looking at my timeline on social media, it's everybody getting ready for a race this weekend, especially all the road racers I know getting ready to go to Mid-Ohio, this weekend as well, including my dad and uncles, and probably going to have almost a record turnout there this weekend. So awesome. Just everybody looking forward to get back into the kart and back just to the racetrack. And again, seeing the racing family, the karting karting family, and just getting away from home.
Isn't that crazy? Like normally we're on the road so much you can't wait to get back home. Now we've been at home so much we just really can't wait to get back on the road. But you mentioned the word, right? It's family. That's one of the things I have conversations with people here, and they say, you don't have any friends at home, or you have any friends there. I said, all my friends and family are on the road. I spend so much time out there. I'm looking forward to getting back racing. I think everybody is, but kudos to everyone. Again, those of you who are still are going to the track, think still about social distancing, wear the mask when you can. Of course, all the organizations, David, we've had a lot of talks with series heads, track owners, track managers, of the stuff that they are doing to make sure we're still practicing the safety we need right now, because we're not out of the woods at all with the COVID-19 pandemic, but we're controlling it. And if we all take care of each other, I think we show some respect. It'll be the best way to go.
Yeah, and I think for the most part, for what we've seen over the last month for those facilities and events that have had it, people are doing what they need to do, and we've seen paddocks getting spread out so people aren't next to each other. Like we've seen some of the packed paddocks. And again, people are keeping their distance from each other. Clubhouses that aren't open yet. Some pro shops aren't even open yet. So they're doing all their business outside. And so we're slowly getting there, and, eventually we'll be back to normal. It's just going to take a little bit of time. And again, everybody's still learning about, the situation that we're in and how we can progress further along and be ready in case, we do have like other waves that, they keep talking about later down the road.
I know. All right, let's get into this one here, because as I said, folks, we pushed it out on social media how this was going to be a really a great face-to-face. It's a really unique story in our sport, and one that I think is a super positive one as well. Joining me today, and we'll start bringing them in, it's the good folks from Racing4Vets. This is a veteran support program that's centered on kart racing in Ohio, where they work with service-disabled veterans, those with traumatic brain injuries or post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, and other physical injuries. They're bringing them into the kart track, starting first at an indoor kart track. Then they have their own outdoor kart racing team as well. David, let's bring them in here right now from the U.S. Navy. One of our veterans, we have Rex Johnson from the U.S. Army, Reiner Ponch, and a gunnery sergeant from the U.S. Marine Corps, Mr. Samuel Deeds, joining us. Guys, great to have you here.
Awesome. We're glad to be here. That's for sure. Thank you for having us.
Well, it's an absolute honor to have you guys with us. Thank you so much, of course, first and foremost for your service, and now what you guys are doing here today, because this program, you guys sent me a video. I got a chance to watch it. Of course, perused through the website Racing4Vets as well, and this is such a fantastic program that you guys have put together. It's using what we do, our sport of karting, the love that we have for it, to be able to help a lot of people that maybe struggled coming back from their service. Let's start with you, Rex. You're kind of the captain of the team. Can you give us a little bit of an overview of the entire program?
Okay, well, first of all, thank you for having us as well. It's definitely an honor and a privilege to be in this venue and to share our mission as we reach out to veterans across, for now, with the Cincinnati area, tri-state area, or eventually as it grows totally across the country.
Yeah.
What we are is Racing4Vets. We're a nonprofit here in Cincinnati, Ohio, that supports those veterans, as you said. Also, veterans in general, if you're not injured and you want to be a part of it to help make a difference to support those, it's needed. Everyone, as I've said, is a important tooth in the sprocket to build the entire race team. Everyone has something to give and to help out. But what we do is in conjunction with Full Throttle, it's actually changed the name. Full Throttle Adrenaline Park out of Springdale, Ohio, supports us greatly. They were our founding, home to begin the process of reaching out.
That's an indoor track, correct?
Yes, it's an indoor track.
Yeah.
They've got 2 tracks, and on Tuesdays they usually join them together as one large track. Not only that, they got axe throwing and paintball. There's on site as well. But what we do is on Saturday mornings once a month, we provide 2 hours for free racing. With PTSD, you have to recognize that it's also closed to the public. It's only private. So if they have a problem with issues around people being nervous or anything, it's closed off, so they feel much more safe and secure. They can come out, race for 2 hours, unlimited, as long as we can get them in. It's usually between 30 to 50 people in there. And then as we see people race and progress, if we want to, feel that, push them a little bit, do you want to do more? Do you really want to race, outdoor? We also offer that outdoor program too as well, because it allows to get them off the couch, to get them, within the confines of a group. And with all due respect to hospitals, I know they do a ton of work out there as well, but when you have a group of veterans who have been through the same type issues, it kind of opens them up to be a little more trusting, I feel, to talk about things and to get things taken care of. And also, I've been on the phone many times late at night, or even going to someone's house to talk to them with that as well. But the reaching out, what we do with the outdoor racing, the outdoor racing program, typically, not being a COVID year, is 16 to 18 races. And in the past, we've been anchored at the G&J Cartway in Camden, Ohio, as well. A massive supporter. The OVKA, the Ohio Valley Karting Association, is a great supporter of us as well, providing the space and the pit spots there for us to race and to extend our mission out to support those. But it's 16 races anchored right there. But last year we took a big step as well. In the past we started with a 420cc engine class. It's an engine builder's class. With the Harbor Freight, bought a motor, built it, taught guys how to build them. I mean, we're talking heads, valves, and having fun working on those motors. And they're pretty torquey, so you could put a big guy in a 420cc class and race. And they had that class there specifically kind of for us to develop and evolve. Last year we stepped up and we moved away from that. We started having some engine problems and felt that it was more that it was better for the team as a whole, that we could have some more reliable cars. We spent more time with the guys racing and developing them to race. We've got 2KAs, the 2K100s, thanks to Trinity Karting Group, and we've got 3 206s as well that we're bringing to the track. So, and also thanks to our sponsors as well, which I'll cover throughout the discussion today, we were able to purchase a 24-foot enclosed trailer.
Nice.
We went up to St. Mary's, Indiana, I think it is, actually, to pick it up, towed it all the way back. It made it because it had some old tires, been sitting for quite a while. But we made it back, and thank you to Sinorama out of Westchester, Ohio. They were able to wrap it for us as well. They did a great job wrapping it. So now that makes Racing4Vets mobile. So because of that being the ability for us to be mobile, we are now able to do the Brickyard, have all of our stuff there in a nice professional laid out manner. We've got we bought a nice tent for it. We're doing what we're supposed to do as stewards of the money that comes to us from our sponsors and that is to fiscally responsibly invest this in proper equipment, good equipment, safe equipment for those vets as well, that we can protect them as well when they're racing out there. And so now as we grow, we're actually looking more for people. You cannot survive any business or group without the right people in place. And as it grows, we're reaching out more to get more people, like the internet with the web page. We are currently updating that web page. We know it's got some spots, some deficiencies in there that need to be addressed, and we're doing that as well. But the Facebook, as technology goes, everything is Facebook, Twitter, and all this, and that's kind of where we've been kind of focusing a lot of our information that gets out is on there. But so that's, in a nutshell, that's kind of where we're at. I hope I didn't travel too long on that, but
no, I wanted the full overview. That's exactly what I was looking for. How many
well,
people?
you know,
Ryder, what do you want to add?
Rex covered everything, so I guess that's a wrap.
We're out of here. So let's go, Reiner. I'll bring you in. How many people are currently involved in the program going here into 2020?
We have 9 or 10 active teammates. We rotate guys in and out of the carts from week to week based on their availability and everything. Not everyone can make every race, and that's fine. And one of the cool things that OVK does for us is currently they're allowing the points to stay with the cart number.
Ooh,
so when they announce us, that's not Reiner or Rex or Sam driving the cart. It's cart number 22, cart number 4, so on and so forth. And so that's probably going to change because there were only 3 carts in KA last year. So mid-season, we had contacted Sean and said, hey, we want to make a change. Will you build us an engine? And he said, yeah. So we arranged all that, and then we just pumped the club full of, hey, we think KA is the right way to go. And I think we have 21 KA/VLR engine packages in OVK now. So I think,
that's great.
Do you guys sell gravestones for your KT?
No. My KT's on my vintage car now.
So my dad's racing one this weekend.
See, we need updating. We're learning.
No, the KA is a great program. I think for sure about that. Samuel, let's move to you a little bit here and kind of give us your background with the program, because actually I think you've been with the program from the very beginning. Is that correct?
Yeah, shortly after it began, John Van started the program here in Cincinnati, and then got away and moved to Florida and did some things down there. But when I came in the program, we had 2 carts that were, 10 years old when I came on, and they were, extremely rigid. They had no flexibility, no adjustability or anything. And, we're out there busting our humps every week to try to just get to the race for the most part.
Yeah.
Now, Aaron Banfield, the owner at Full Throttle, was gracious enough to have us a space there that we could work on the carts whenever we wanted to. He would transport them to and from the track for us. So for the most part, my first 2 years, I was busy with work during the weekends when the races were happening. So I would go in and I'd wrench during the week. That way the carts are ready for whoever was racing on, Saturday or Sunday. And I've watched it grow, and Reiner and Rex and everybody that's there right now has done a phenomenal job to getting the program to where it is. And, as far as the indoor program, and that Rex mentioned earlier, it's not just vets that are, out here. The VA has a domiciliary over in Fort Thomas, Kentucky, that deals with post-traumatic stress, traumatic brain injury, military sexual trauma, and they bring a busload of veterans every time we have the indoor program.
Well, that's amazing.
And then also the Joseph House. It's a homeless veterans home in Butler County in Hamilton County, Ohio, and they bring van loads as well. So, we've had as many as 100+ people on, a free weekend for us. And we do encourage other veterans to come in, Post-traumatic stress is not a visible wound. I'm rated for it for the VA, and I've had issues with the VA for it too. So, it's just one of those things that it is a combat wound, whether you get a Purple Heart for it or combat action ribbon or the Army Infantry badge or whatever. But yeah, this program has come a long way, and the indoor program, and doing the 12-hour, the 24-hour, the 8-hour, whatever we do as far as on our end, with the help from Full Throttle, it has come a long, long way. And now they're racing over in Indy. And I've got a little bit of history there, but it's great to see these guys go over there this year. Maybe I can.
Yeah, we'll come back to the history in a second. But you got to drive something.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while. I've not been in the kart for, it's probably been 5 or 6 years since I've been in the outdoor kart. Other than taking it to like potential sponsors to show them what the kart is and how the performance of the kart is in the parking lot, right?
Yeah,
that's real safe. All these cars and light poles and everything else, but here I am buzzing around the parking lot. But no, and that's it. But I've been, the team is fortunate enough to have Reiner and Rex and some of the other guys that have been there for the past couple of years to keep the program really going. And like I said, I try to get involved as much as possible. When my job allows it.
You guys developed a YouTube video, which we'll put a link to later on, where you had a number of the guys that were part of the program, I believe from April of last year, and they talked a little bit about what the program meant to them, what it provided to them, getting a chance to drive, getting a chance to be part of a team. Rex, can you talk, or can any of the three of you guys talk about from personal experiences what actually getting a chance to be part of the team and then get out in the kart itself, what it meant to you, what it did for you?
Yeah, I'll get that one. No matter what branch of service you're in, or no matter what your rank is, you're part of a team, whether it's a 4-man fire team or a 30-man platoon or, whatever your shift is. But, when you leave the military, you don't have that anymore. You come home. I was an E7. I was a gunnery sergeant 14 plus years in, and I was medically retired. And it came very quick for me, and I really couldn't prepare myself to leave, because I didn't know when that paperwork was going to get approved. I want to say it was like 12 days from the time I got my paperwork to the time my retirement hit. And I come home and I had nothing whatsoever, and here I am, a leader, a mentor of Marines, and leave and have nothing. You have purpose, you have a mission, and when you leave, you lose that. So I ran into a guy who was racing the outdoor program. He was at the VA here, and he said, "Hey, we have an indoor program. Come on out." And much like Reiner, who started on the indoor and then went to the outdoor, I was the same way. And to be part of the team, and we've developed to be part of family. I've talked to Rex quite a bit about post-traumatic stress, traumatic brain injury, and now moving forward with post-traumatic growth, and that is a positive event that has happened as a result of your trauma, right? So, finding Racing4Vets or, another outlet, and for most of us that actually saw combat, we're adrenaline junkies anyway, or guys that were, parachutists or adrenaline junkies, and getting in the kart helps you build that adrenaline back up. And it's a great way for our program to find vets, or have vets find us, that give them a purpose again, that help them with a mission. Because it's not just show up and race for the outdoor program. We want you to put the time in, wrenching and learning the karts and learning the dynamics of caster and camber and how to adjust your seat and body position and adjusting your weight and whatever have you for outdoor racing, because it is so much different than indoor. And I can't thank Full Throttle enough for all they do for us as a team, and for all the veterans in the greater Cincinnati area, because without them, we probably would not be where we are today.
Absolutely, I support that too. You betcha.
Yeah. So it's pretty phenomenal, and it helped me. I studied auto mechanics in school, and it's different, but I'm getting my hands greasy again, right? I'm changing tires, I'm changing brakes, I'm adjusting brakes, I'm putting sprockets on, and much smaller scale than what I was used to working on, an F-150 or a Mustang or whatever. But it gave me that sense of purpose again. And, even though I couldn't be at the track every Saturday or Sunday, I'm in the shop Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, doing what was necessary for these karts to race and for these guys to be successful at racing. So, and for me, that's where it was for me. And then, I moved on to some other things, but still, help out here where I can, and I'm very fortunate that Reiner and Rex came on to bring this program to where it is.
No doubt. Hey, Rex, what about you? What about your personal experience and what this did for you?
Well, for me, I've known Reiner since I was a kid. Actually, he got involved in racing and then pulled me in. And as I said in the video link when you posted, thank you very much for posting that. When I started, I made very clear. I looked at the history of Racing4Vets, what it's about, and I made that point. I said, I'm not injured, disabled, but I'm a vet. I've worked with guys, and I've had that desire in my personal life. And you see it in the video on what got me into racing. I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to continue my service and help out. And your life is from the beginning to the end. What happens in between is it's all about the dash, is what I say. That dash from your born date to your dying date. It's all about the dash.
Yeah.
And so I felt I still had time to help make a difference. So that's why I made very clear when I stepped in, this is what's going on. I said I'll be more than happy to help out, and that's exactly what I've done. But for me, like in the video, I say that racing to me is kind of like painting a car. You'll spend 89% in body work and 5-10% paint, and you're done. And so getting active again. So I was home dealing with depression for most of my life, and doing this, Reiner knew me well. He's like, you got to get out and do something. So I got out, started racing, did the indoor. I was like, okay, this is cool, and started meeting Aaron Banfield as well with Full Throttle, and then started meeting more people. That's kind of also the aspect we haven't talked about with Race4Vets is not only are we racing and getting people out and being active to do something, we'll also have very many connections of people who support us, and those are typically business professionals where they may have jobs to place some of these guys in to give them a career change. For me, I got out of the military, and long story short, wasn't in a good place, and I wasn't in a good place to go interview at what I was trained to do. So I stayed with that company for over 20 years. Loved the company I was with, full support of they're a great family, but I needed something new. And through this Racing4Vets, I just jumped to a new job about a year and a half ago and love it. I'm a superintendent for Federated Construction out of Newport, Kentucky, and it's something completely different for me. I took that risk. If I did not have Racing4Vets, there's no way I would have jumped, period. No way. With support of Sam, Reiner, all the crew, all the team, they kept saying, man, you can do this. And unfortunately, that's kind of my wiring. I needed a little help. I needed a little push. I'm very humbled to take that. And but that's what got me. That's what Racing4Vets kind of means for me when I started. And being at the racetrack, all that hard work pays off. When that flag drops, it's tunnel vision, baby. You ain't thinking about anything. Racing and tucking that nose in. Do I do it or do I don't? And control. Keeping control of something that's out of control. My boss has always told me my job. My current boss has told me my job is to make you comfortable when you're uncomfortable. For you to feel like you're in control when you're not, and that's what makes you great. So that's kind of the same thing and falls on the karting path. Is that when you start to get out of control, be able to control it. That's what gets you to the checkered flag to win.
Yeah, one of the success stories for sure, no doubt about it, Rex. What about Ryder? What about you? Sam talked about the fact that you got into the indoor karting program first. What did the indoor karting program help you with in terms of coming off your service?
Well, it's an interesting thing. One of my best friends of Rex's of mine, growing up, his name is Jeremy Wolf, and he raced a lot with Sean Bailiff at G&J back in the day. So I met him in high school. And all I remember him, and he always said, one day I'm going to race at Indy. But anyway, I probably went out to G&J, I don't know, and attended 20 or so different races, watched him race. I was always completely jealous. I never had the opportunity to do that. And a couple times they let me stuck getting his dad's cart, and I'll take it around for practice or whatever. But anyway, and so that was dead for many, many years. And I owned my own welding shop for a while, and then we started going out to Full Throttle opened up, and we were like, oh, check that out. Karting, all right. So we started going there and doing like a 1 hour lunch, and we do like a lunch racing league up there with some good drivers. And developed a really good relationship with Aaron, and he said, hey, you know what? Why don't you come out to the outdoor track? So he set me up in a cart, and I went and bought a snow rated helmet and went out there, and here I thought I was going to be like a Formula One driver. I got handed some gloves and, you know, and be like, all right, someone started it for me and all that stuff. It was a lot less significant than that. I spent the whole day working on the car, getting it running. And then I met the vet guys because they pitted right next to Aaron's guys, the Full Throttle guys. And I started working with them, and I was like, dude, why are they asking me questions? I'm like, I've never been here, don't know anything. But anyway, we worked through it. And throughout that day, they found out I was a vet. And Aaron's like, well, the rain canceled the race, and we had a race in 2 weeks. And he's like, well, next week, why don't you go run with them? And I was like, I saw their parts.
Sam can vouch for that.
That's right. Yeah, Sam talked about that stiff cart.
That's right. Yeah.
So anyway, we got in there, and great group of guys, and we hammered through the last third of that season and made it, and it was good, and it was good for me. I'm a leader. Rex is a leader. Sam's a leader, and they needed someone to be like, you know, someone needs to take the reins and take control. And so we did that, and we started, I don't know, it gave me, I like being a leader and helping out and stuff. And back to what Sam was saying about the indoor guys, it's like, he said, you know, the guys are looking for help. But kind of one of the key things is, you see the indoor guys, most of the guys that need help don't ask for help. So you got to be able to identify the ones that are going to, you got to prod them a little bit and drag it out of them. And then, you know, so you grab their hand and you pull them along, because they usually are pretty resistant right off the bat. But
Ron is being very humble. He's not mentioning at all the fact about his first race. Would you like to fill him in on that, Reiner?
Didn't I hear that you won your first race?
Yeah, yeah, he did.
Yeah, I don't know how much they paid everyone else. They baited me, and I was like, "Oh, this is easy. All right, no, I'm so no. I don't think I've won a race since then.
All right, you got that trophy.
Not yet. We're working on that.
The competition got really stiff. Our 420 class out there was started by a really cool group of Dayton guys, and I think the story went, someone was too old and larger and wanted to be able to competitively just play with their son out at the track. So they went to Harbor Freight, bought this big monster of an engine, bolted it on a cart, and everyone was like, dang, that's cool. What's that? You know, let's do something with that. So anyway, it kind of developed from there. So they wrote a rule book and lots of gray areas. And then we started getting some really interesting people involved in the sport. There's Jason Dorn and Ron Swift from Dorn Racing, and Ron is now our assistant tech director. Is that right? Assistant tech director at G&J.
Yep.
So anyway, you know, having them starting to really delve deep into the gray areas of our rule book was written on a napkin, and so anyway, lots of really cool stuff came out of the class, and everyone got to play around with things, and we made the carts faster, more reliable, more powerful, and then we started having some problems as a whole. I think we blew 5 engines up on the track last year out of our club.
Yeah, well, it wasn't all us. I mean,
no, it wasn't. Oh my gosh.
And that's 40 ounces of oil you're putting on the track.
You guys are going to enjoy the Briggs 206.
Yeah.
Well, I feel bad because we kind of ditched the 420 class, but I was like, you know, we were spending so much time working on these things. We initially wanted to keep one and go work 2 2KAs and 2 206s, and some guy, a private guy, bought. He's like, how many 420s you got? And we're like, 4. And he's like, I'll take them all. And we're like, okay. So we started from scratch. You know, so we were able to buy 2 engines from Sean, and then Sean asked us what we were going to put them on, and we're like, well, we got these old top cart chassis that we had to cut a little bit to make the 420s fit, and he's like, oh, no, that won't do. So he's been a huge help and helped us acquire 2 Margays. So slightly used Margays, and we're extremely thankful for that. And he's been really good tech support for us in moving into the KA class.
Yeah, Sean Bailiff, of course, one of the best in the sport, no doubt about that. We pause our face-to-face broadcast for this quick commercial break. Stay tuned for more here on the EKN Radio Network. Club racing has been taken to a new level in the Cincinnati area. The Motorsports Country Club of Cincinnati is proud to present the Pro-Am Karting Championship, a 4-event series from June to October that will serve an area of southwest Ohio, eastern Indiana, and northern Kentucky. The Pro-Am Karting Championship will provide categories based around the IAME and Briggs & Stratton engine programs. Utilizing the SuperKarts USA rules and partnering up with the Margay Ignite karting program, Pro-Am Karting Championship has something for new drivers and those experienced racers as well. Our revised schedule includes the following dates: June 21st, August 22nd, September 18th, and October 31st. Make sure to head to mccproamkarting.com to learn more about this exciting new club racing program. From coast to coast, IAME has become the two-cycle engine of choice for American karting. The air-cooled 60cc Swift engine for micro and mini drivers provide the foundation for future lifelong IAME drivers. The incredible IAME X30 power plant for junior, senior, and masters drivers has provided stability in our sport since 2014 and remains one of the most dependable engine packages today. In between is the KA100 engine, which is perfect for club programs and is quickly becoming the most competitive division at the national level. IAME is the spec 2-cycle power plant for the SuperKarts USA Winter Series and Pro Tour, as well as the US Pro Kart Series, Route 66 Sprint Series, Sunshine State Karting Championship, and many more programs throughout the eastern half of the US. IAME East in Mooresville, North Carolina is the official distribution center to provide dealers and customers with fast and friendly service for all your IAME needs. For more information, head to IAMEUSA.com. IAME, the heart of kart. Powered by technology, DID racing chains have a worldwide reputation for superior quality and reliability. Meticulously engineered and manufactured in Japan, DID genuine parts are the world's #1 original parts supplier for Japanese and European motorcycle manufacturers. A rich racing tradition where results speak for themselves, DID prides itself on engineering the most technologically advanced chains on the market to help you excel on and off the track. DID's SDH pin treatment creates an extremely hard chromium carbide layer on the pin surface that houses a soft inner core to absorb extreme shock loads. DID's 219 HTZ racing chain boasts this SDH pin technology, which leads to longer chain life as well as excellent energy transmission to the wheels. Available in the gorgeous gold, the 219 HTZ is the ultimate racing kart chain. Pick up a DID chain at your local dealer today, because when winning is the only thing that matters, go with DID. Welcome back to Face2Face on the EKN Radio Network. Let's talk about your 2020. Rex, do you want to tell us about what you guys got planned for 2020? I know that kind of things got changed a bit with the COVID-19 deal. You talked about it. Everything's changing. Yeah. We're jamming the schedule. Where are we going to see you guys this year?
Yeah, you ain't kidding. It's kind of like a big roulette wheel, and then we'll see where it lands, right?
That's it.
We've got a bunch lined up. We have our first 3 races at G&J Cartway. Then we're going to be going to Whiteland Raceway as well.
Go ahead. Go ahead. No.
And then we got the Brickyard, of course, coming up. Reiner, you want to inject some more in there?
One of our big things was also getting into the KA class was like we got to be able to race at some other clubs, and there's no 420 classes anywhere.
Well, and also, if I can interject, this COVID thing, happening, obviously affected everybody and all the racing schedules. We also, last year, there was a young man named Cole Marr up in Michigan that his dad had reached out to me and said, "Hey, my son." I believe he was 11 years old, 13. He was a young man that had reached out and said, "Hey, they come race at G&J Cartway, and they saw us up there." And he said, "Hey, Dad, I want to do something for vets." And this always gets me in the field. I'm a pretty emotional person sometimes, but he said, "Dad, I want to help out the vets, and I want to sponsor a racing team for vets at my track." And I told him, I said, "Cole, if you get a race set up there, we'll come up there." And sure enough, he set it up. It was called the Vets Day at the Racing from Colmar Racing up in Michigan. And we went up there. We found a trailer someone would let us borrow the stuff in, went up there and raced. So that's what spawned the thought, like, man, we should be able to travel.
You should travel.
We should travel. I mean, everyone else travels around, but this is a big team, and this is grassroots, and it's just starting up, and that vision can be skewed sometimes because you're so consumed with the present. You have to pause and step out and look at the future, and thankfully that's young men like that I was proud to support, and we still do.
Hey, David, pop that comment up. Dan Marr actually just said, "Great group. My son loves being around them." That's awesome.
Yeah.
And that's the way you can affect the younger generation too, which is huge.
That's right. It's our responsibility as parents, or if you're not parents, as just older people, to lead our youth in the future. And and he's a fine young man, and he tried to have another race this year, and he just couldn't with the COVID thing. But yeah, I mean, we'd love to go back down there and do that as well. Also, one of our largest sponsors, Challenger Fest in Bowling Green, Kentucky, Speedy's Garage as well. They are our largest sponsor that typically happens in April in Bowling Green, Kentucky. They have Dodge Challengers from across the country come there. It's a big, huge event, drag racing. I mean, you talk about, it is a true group of love and racing.
Oh, we just lost Rex. We lost Rex.
He'll come back again.
Reiner, pick up the ball right now and keep running with it.
Some
of your sponsors.
Anyway, sponsors.
We can wait for Rex. Rex will come back. Talk about Challenger. Oh, here he is.
I'm back.
Look, he's back.
Boom.
All right.
Anyway, may I continue? Anyway,
it must be that Ohio internet.
Oh. Yeah, it must be. Keep pedaling, honey. Keep pedaling. Anyway, but Challenger Fest is a really large supporter of us, and it happens in the spring. They usually funds us a very large chunk of our season, and that didn't happen. That's getting pushed until October. So because, like I said earlier, being good stewards of our funding, we have enough, I believe, to make it through into the midsummer area as well, to get over to the second half of the year. So fundraising is important. It's a necessity. Even though I'm humbled at those who support us, I'm not so vocal to try to ask for help. That's a typical vet thing, probably. Yeah. You feel like you can shoulder it all yourself and make it happen. But thankfully, with our sponsors, if I may, can I run through our sponsor list?
Please do.
Special thanks for, of course, Challenger Fest, Full Throttle Adrenaline Park, the OVKA, the Ohio Valley Karting Association, the Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association, Chapter 12-4 out of Kettering, Ohio, Team Fast Tracks, Blue Skies for Good Guys and Gals, which Sam can elaborate on too. He's part with the Team Fast Tracks and Blue Skies. DeWalt Tools. We have a whole bunch of DeWalt rental places here in town. We have One Stop Rental, Village Rental, General Rental Center, Hamilton Rental Center, Middletown Equipment Rental, Right Way Equipment Rentals, Barney Rentals Incorporated, 4-Star Tool Rental, Ted's Rental, Central Tool Rental, and MR4V. And then also we have, of course, Trinity Karting Group, the USAC. Thank you very much for your support this year at Brickyard coming in. We're really looking forward to it. Signorama here in Westchester, Fear Motors, R&M Welding Supplies, Holt Heights Lackner Signs, which is where Reiner's at as well, Fetters Construction, where I'm at, Magnified Giving. This was a class, a Guardian Angel School, Mrs. Starkey's religion class, invited me to come out, talk about what we do in vets. They fundraise money to help support us to go toward buying that trailer. I told them I want to get it. Well, they surprised us with a check, and we were able to put that money towards getting the trailer, so thank you to them. Yeah, Transport Supply Depot, TNT Farms, United Dairy Farmers, Comar Racing, Grasshopper Racing, Go-Kart, and Swap Meet. So that's, and G&J Cartway and the Gregg family. So if I miss anybody, our apologies, but that's just a large list of people who are falling in line to support us, and we are extremely thankful. And I'm humbled.
Yeah,
I'm humbled at that. So thank you.
I contacted the guys at USAC and told them our intentions, who we are, what we're doing, and man, they just embraced us with open arms and said, "All right, we got to get you guys here." And so we worked out some stuff, and we were able. We're going to bring 5 carts to Battle at the Brickyard this year.
Nice.
And you know what? Raise your hand if you're singing the national anthem at the Brickyard.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
That's awesome, Rex. That's going to be great.
Yeah.
Listen, have you ever had any experience, Rex and Reiner? We'll come to Samuel after this, but how much experience have you guys had being at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway?
Go ahead, Reiner.
Reiner, about you?
I've only been there a couple times for test and tune with my dad growing up. We went more to Mid-Ohio and watched the, what were the Nissan, the GT1
GTPs?
cars, or the GTP cars, yeah, back when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
So that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
Rex, what about you?
Yeah, my dad took me to the Indy 500 when I was a kid. Matter of fact, if I look around here, I probably have the pin where you tilt the pin and the car goes like that. It's like liquid gel. I think I still got it. But I remember going down there and seeing the Indy 500 stuff frequently. NASCAR races as well. I was surprised at how short Danica Patrick was. Like, holy crap! I was down there at the grill. I was like, she's short. Yeah, she's small. But what a beautiful play. Oh, and also we have. I was raised around 8 antique cars. Both my grandparents were mechanics. One of my grandparents had 8 different antique cars, and one of his cars was asked to race at the Indy 100 anniversary, where they brought all the old cars down to race around the track. We had a 1914 Fiat that was down there, and the owner was my grandfather's dentist's friend or something. So he invited us out, and we got pictures sitting there and got to watch it around. It was just an awesome experience. So
that's awesome.
That's the extent of it. And the update's a beautiful facility now.
Oh, it's amazing.
Awesome. Yeah.
And you're going to get a chance to drive on a lot of it this particular year. It's going to be great.
It's going to be awesome.
Trust the one lap around when you cross the yard of bricks. That feels pretty cool.
I just want some milk. That's all. Somebody give me some milk. All right. Hope it's not too hot out.
Samuel, what about you? You've had a different view than all of us have, right?
Yeah, I've had a pretty different view. I went out a few times. I've been out in different aspects, if you will. I went out with the Wounded Warrior Project, and we did a ride-along pace lap with the driver, and I had Jeff Burton in my truck, and what a great guy he is. And then years later, I had through Crown Royal, the Your Heroes Name Here program, I had the naming rights to the Brickyard 400 in 2013. So it was the 20th running. I got to ride with the pole winner, who was Ryan Newman, who also won the race. And man, what a humble guy he is. We talked about Eldora, the truck race, because it was the first time there. And then he's like, hey, if you ever get back up here, that pond has some massive bass in it. The pond that's on the infield. So, but I mean, he's a true outdoorsman and really, really phenomenal. And then probably a couple years ago, I think it was the 101st running, we did a jump into the Indy 500. I worked with a professional skydive Team Fast Tracks, based out of Middletown, Ohio. And we jumped everything from a 7,800 square foot American flag down to 1,100 square foot Purple Heart flag. And we landed in all 4 corners. So it's pretty a pretty nice relationship out there. And I still talk with Susie Elliott and Pat Myrna and Doug Bowles, and what an amazing family they have out there as far as the whole facility and the employees out there. So yeah, it's I've got a lot of Brickyard stuff in my house. I've got I mean, I've got a brick over here that they put in the park next door. They put in a yard of bricks, and some of the bricks have, sayings from, a school teacher and people I served with or family friends, and they had an extra brick, so they gave it to me. And then, of course, I have this, and this was hanging in the wall on the pagoda in the Crown Royal Suite, and I have
awesome.
five or six different ones around here. And across the room, I got a picture of me and Ryan with the trophy that he had signed for me. So, I mean, it's just, I love the Brickyard, and how can you not? I mean, it's probably has the most history of any track ever, right? I mean, look at who's raced there. I mean, from all the IndyCar guys to, NASCAR and then, Dale Jarrett kissing the bricks, and now it's a thing, right? And you come up and you've got black all over your face and your nose and your forehead. But yeah, but just to be out there and the fan base too is just phenomenal. Everybody's so welcoming out there. So I'm excited for the guys to go out there, and maybe I'll see if I can't get a hold of those guys and they can pull up my pace car, because I know they still have it out there somewhere.
Dale Jarrett's my favorite, by the way. I just want that to be known.
I think Cole's a big Dale Jarrett fan too. Are you not?
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, Dale Jarrett. Well, I was a Robert Yates guy, and he came and drove for Yates, so I turned to a Dale Jarrett guy. But Davey Allison before that as well. So yeah.
Yeah, but you didn't have a Dale Jarrett concrete mixer. I had decorated everything else in my house. I had a concrete mixer where you tipped it over. The car would be chased by Jeff Gordon all around.
There you go. Okay, you're hardcore.
I probably have some die-cast cars though laying around here. I'll have to go in the closet over
there. You go. I've got the bobblehead and the big brown truck and all that.
So guys, let's wrap this thing up. A fantastic show, fantastic program. 2020, you guys are, like you said, you're going to be at G&J. You're going to the Brickyard. You're going to what else we figure out? You're going to track at White Lake.
Right. Hey, Rob.
Yeah.
If I may interrupt real quickly, I know you're trying to wrap. I also recognize.
Get in the right direction.
It's okay. I also want to recognize the Honor and Remember flag as well, that we are very humbled to be allowed to present on all of our tracks. What that is, the Honor and Remember, Sam can talk about it really well as well, but what it is, it basically allows us to recognize fallen combat vets that have passed away in the field or in combat, and we also bring their families to the track. We actually try to contact them. We can't always contact them, and sometimes they don't always want to come. We respect that, but the biggest, most humbling thing is we want to make sure their names are recognized and not forgotten. We will be recognizing at the Brickyard Army Corporal Zachary R. Nordmeyer died February 23rd, 2009 during serving during Operation Iraqi Freedom. I wanted to put that out there as well. So anyway, special thanks to that. Sam, if you want to elaborate on Honor Members' goals right now and what's going on, it'd be great.
Please.
Yeah. So for those of you that don't know what a Gold Star family is, it's somebody who lost someone in combat or in training. A gentleman by the name of George Lutz lost his son, I think it was December 2005. And the years that followed that, George attended a few funerals at Arlington where his son is buried in Section 60 and saw that there's really nothing for the Gold Star families. So he developed this flag. And when a family is presented the flag, it has their rank, their name, their place of death, and their date of death on it, branch of service. But, I had a Gold Star father that I've become very close with. I actually picked his son up from the School of Infantry, deployed to Haiti with him. We went our separate ways, but we still stayed in the same unit. And then we deployed to Iraq together. I was injured and sent home in March of 2005, and Taylor was killed in May of 2005. But he says to me all the time that, as long as he tells Taylor's story, he's not going to be forgotten. And, it's important for us. And, for the skydive team, every performance that we do, every jump we do is dedicated to a fallen service member. And, we did that a few years back at G&J, and Rex was like, hey, can we do this on the cart? And I'm like, yeah. I mean, Cincinnati alone has 77 families that lost a loved one just in Iraq and Afghanistan. Well, Honor and Remember has taken it a step further, and they recognize those who have succumbed to suicide from post-traumatic stress or traumatic brain injury as well. So all these service members that have passed, Honor and Remember is recognizing them. So Rainer went out and, we got the designs and it's on all the carts. And then every single race, like Rex said, we dedicate to a fallen service member, and we try to do it from this area. And we've been very lucky to have a lot of the family members show up, and it shows the families that their loved ones not forgotten, and their loved ones not going to be forgotten, because Rex does a little brief about who that person was and shows them the picture in all of our driver meetings. So it's we're very blessed to have Honor Remember let us use their graphics. I mean, I've got a patch on my racing shirt. They're going to be on our new stuff. So I mean, George Letts is a phenomenal man, and he's let me do a lot with his flag. And as a jump team, we have an 1,100 square foot flag, and right now it has over, I want to say, close to 600 families have signed our flag with the same information that's on their flag, and we fly this thing all over the world. So
that's amazing.
We're very
that is
fortunate.
amazing. What a great opportunity, a great way to use your program, Rex. That's we actually just had somebody just post up, Rob Newsel post up that you guys recognize the fallen soldier at G&J race, and hearing the fallen soldier story, it brings a tear to your eye every time. It's an amazing thing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I just think that's tremendous.
It does. Well, I served on the honor guard. I probably buried close to 60 veterans, and it kind of puts me back into that. It's our honor and privilege to be able to do so.
Well, you guys have a tremendous program, as we've talked about. This is going to be a great opportunity. We hope to be able to get more awareness for it as well. We'd like to be able to help you guys do some fundraising too, moving forward. Anything you want to kind of cap off with here, other than it's just time to get racing, try to get everybody back to the shop, everybody back out to the racetrack.
Yeah, I'm just glad David shaved his beard.
Reiner, you go first.
Oh, I was just gonna say I've had pre-race jitters all week long. So
guys are racing this
very
weekend, right?
excited. I'm very excited for it. So
You guys are racing this weekend, right?
yeah, and we've got 2 new guys on the team that are geared up for this weekend. Friday night is our Drivers 101, so we'll be attending that and getting some guys some more laps and sending them out in their first races.
Let's get what's their names? Let's put them in the spotlight. Who we got driving?
We got Ben. What's his last name?
Benjamin Parker and Gary
Benjamin
Rump.
Parker, Gary Rump, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, and fun fact, Ben Parker, I think 2 years after I had the naming rights to the Brickyard, he was one of the 5 finalists, and he's right here in Cincinnati. So I did a lot of pushing for him, and I think Chris Kyle's brother, ended up winning the contest that year. So I got to meet Ben now at the Brickyard and stuff. So I think he's gonna be a great addition.
Great guy.
Yep.
That's awesome. Get him behind the wheel. See that smile on his face when he pulls the helmet off for the first time, right? That'll just be great.
Yeah.
Well, guys, listen, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it.
Right.
What I would like to do, if we can right now, is there an opportunity you guys can want to give some whatever your Facebook is, website address. How can people contact you, Racing4Vets, if they want to support you guys?
Yeah, before we do that, I know we've mentioned Full Throttle a lot, but we really need to thank Aaron and Karen Banfield, who's been behind this the entire time and supported us the entire time and continue to do so.
Well, you know what? We talk a lot, Samuel, about the fact that indoor karting is that first opportunity for people to see the sport, and this has been the conduit, right, for you guys to be able to do what you're doing at the racetrack, the actual competition racetrack, for them to be able to do what they've done at Full Throttle. I just think it's something we would love to potentially see across the country, right? It's not that hard for someone to be able to put something like this together.
Yeah, I mean, it's 2 hours, and they do it before they open. So I mean, it's not a huge ask. It's just having somebody that has the drive to go out there and be there a couple hours before the doors open.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yep.
What about other chapters? I know that I think there's another chapter in Florida potentially. Are there other chapters of Racing4Vets around the country?
There are the Tampa chapters down there as well. That's where John Van's at as well. Of course, this group going to the Brickyard is the Cincinnati chapter.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been working on his down there. He's working on he has karting as well, but he's also working on a car to renovate for a Gold Star family as well down there. So he's shifted a little bit, doing something a little bit different. We're into karting. He's in the car restoration type stuff right now. But also some karting. He also does some racing, some vintage antique stuff as well.
So how do people get a hold of you? Let people know.
Well, Racing4Vets.org is our accesses our webpage for a donation button. If you want to look us up on Facebook. Just looking for Racing4Vets. It'll be there. It's Cincinnati chapter as well. So, but it's pretty simple. Just Google that. We are growing. We are looking desperately to get someone to help with the internet, to help develop our website, and also maybe you can reach out to the Instagram, Twitter, and everything. I'm not very tech savvy, nor with my job, my family. I'm taking care of my parents who are elderly, taking care of my family, my work. All of us that are on this team are full-time employed. Except, well, I mean, or full-time active in something. So there's a lot of extra time you got to put into it. So, so I'm not really tech savvy to say, hey, I can do it. I can be on my phone all the time, like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. It's like,
I understand that.
It's too much for me, man. So,
it's hard.
Yep.
Well, so what you're saying then, money's always great to have, but manpower is as well. Volunteer hours would be great for you guys.
It's more important, yes, sir.
That's awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it. Once again, Reiner Potch, we've got Samuel Deeds and Rex Jackson joining us from Racing4Vets. Guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Go Racing4Vets.
For having us.
I always say it.
That's it.
Rob, David, thank you.
Thanks, guys. That's
Thanks,
awesome. Listen, folks, if you head up to the Battle at the Brickyard this year, you're going to see these guys. Find them out. Say hello. Obviously, a lot of passion for the sport, a lot of passion for the people and their family, too. Of course, that's the whole thing, David. We started this show talking about family, and I think what this program obviously does is for a lot of veterans who may be struggling with a lot of the stuff that they've had to deal with, they get a chance to come into a family, a racing family where they can talk freely, they can go back and forth. It's just a great opportunity, I think, from what these guys are doing.
A familiar atmosphere, because again, they've all kind of been in the similar atmosphere, depending on their type of service and that. But just as you said, a family, and that you're able to be more open about things that you might have inside that you don't want a lot of people to know. So it's easier there. And as they said, they're able to do that on the indoor side, but they're also able to do that on the outdoor side as well. And because some people might not feel comfortable indoors as well. So that's why I think, having those two different venues to be able to do that. And as they said, now they're able to take that on the road. So they're able to kind of just to get this program more aware out in the karting community, to be able to possibly spread this to other chapters. And again, like they were talking, the Cole Marr situation, it just takes, 1, 2, or 3 individuals to kind of get it jump started. And then hopefully from that, it starts up a new chapter and it can grow from there. And then as they talked about, kart shops or just even regular businesses can help support it in any way they possibly can.
So, folks, that's what it's all about, awareness, right? This is a tremendous program. If you're watching this right now and you'd like to potentially reach out, you can reach out to us here at ekartingnews.com as well, on Facebook, any one of the social media channels. We'll get you in touch with the good folks from Racing4Vets, see if we can't help them along, get them what they need to continue doing the great things that they are doing right now. We do thank you for joining on this edition of Face to Face. We've got lots more lined up for next week. Make sure you come back and join us again. But thank you so much, folks. We do appreciate it. On behalf of David Cole, my name is Rob Howden. Book it.